At least your badges forces you to do that.
What? Be gold?
Yep.
Not anymore, it's not.
Code 4 on the latest 180.
Is it? Hey, quick question.
What was that?
Quick question.
Hmm.
Are you about to go out in a car?
I don't. Probably not, because it's gonna be 15 minutes before the meeting.
That's fair.
Why?
Just something I want to check. I'll have to check it later. Oh, wait, no. I know what you mean. Yeah, it's in a bun. The other two hairstyles are gone. So is this one to deal with? Hello.
Gang gang.
Gang shit. You sound like how I feel. Yeah.
Something in the water today, I think.
Talking motherfuckers.
Not much, motherfucker.
Yeah, motherfucker.
Llewellyn been doing okay?
Yeah, I'm about to sign him off on his final thing.
Did you want to
check
do?
the date that it was signed off? Yeah, I'm gonna drag him in real quick.
Yeah, do it before the
use
meeting.
those. Huh?
Do it before the meeting. Otherwise, we're
Don't
gonna
do it
get dragged
before.
into this. If we're gonna possibly get dragged into this meeting, and you'll go off duty.
That's what I mean. I'm gonna do it now.
Oh no, we were saying the same
One of
thing.
those calls. I'm in a 76.
Oh, right. Yeah, I'm gonna do it now.
Hey, Llewellyn,
Hola.
you're 25 me in the staff sergeant office, yeah?
Oh no, I'm getting fired. Okay, I'll be there soon.
Got the shotguns
Cheers,
ready
boss
to
man.
fire you. Hey, Tweet.
Oh man, no, we don't need no shotgun, fam. We need a gauze cannon, you know?
Hey, blood.
We've got some NA cadets moving up pretty quickly into Proby.
That's what I'm hearing.
You'll be lurking. Now they're Dion's cadets to be kidnapped.
There's a new car at the wheel.
It looks ugly.
Wow. Just because it's not blue doesn't mean it's ugly.
I don't like the design. But it's not blue. You are right about that. It can, but I don't like the design. Not a me. I will say, Cotton, that the hair that I preferred was the bun that came before this one. Eh. I can handle glasses. I can't handle hats. Don't give me a hat. Good. Boo. But glasses... Hit and miss. Like, it's very... The hair is supposed to be... Usually we're putting more on a face. Is that it subtracts from the colour of the hair. And the brightness of the hair. Like, this is... Like, that's supposed to be the shock factor. That's supposed to be the thing that pulls you in. Hello, San Andreas State Police. How can I help?
Hello, just letting you know there's some tow trucks available if you ever need anything towed.
I appreciate you. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye. That sounded a very good shot. Oh, my voice cut out there.
Why would you get fired?
Why the fuck did you get fined, man? The hell?
Yeah, what the hell?
Worry about that. I normally walk
Was that you, Frank, that tased him?
Yeah, you got promoted.
Oh, I was just wondering who managed to get the aim right into the temple for him.
No, that was Dion.
Oh yeah,
Okay.
that's me. Yeah,
I'm normally more of a pelvis person.
I go right for the face.
Well, it was a very good shot either way. You managed to get either side of those glasses.
It's true. You do get them big old glasses.
such is life. You know, they're not even prescription. They're just clear lenses. I just like the way they look.
Oh yeah.
Do as you do.
Amber.
Yeah, I got lazy.
Just cooking my slime. You want to come down to the staff sergeant's office real quick? I got a gift for you.
Did you call her your slime?
Yeah, bro.
That's a crazy con.
Cheers, my slime. I brought him into the office like, yo, Wagwan G. Before this begins, yeah, I'm gonna need your badge and your gun, you know.
That's kind of funny.
I was like, yeah, fam. Before we actually begin these proceedings, yeah, I'm gonna have to read you your Garrity rights.
Yep, Garrity.
And then it says like, all right, Garrity rights time. So yeah, you may be asked. You're gonna be asked. All right, Major. Present fire. Present taser. Sorry, not fire. Present taser.
What, 9mm
Present
taser?
Aim.
Yep.
Llewellyn. Yep, there you go. Stop pumping my table. What the fuck? Well, he's a probie. He's not. You know, it's probie. Congratulations, Llewellyn.
Good job, Llewellyn.
Man. You You're now authorized to take 1 extra mil out of the fridge.
Oh, thank God.
Yep, yep. There's
We
quite a-
have so many troopers that aim for the neck and face area.
Yeah, it's the. That's
Always.
why I say I am for the pelvis area. I'm just hoping one of them clings on. Ah, the one. You need to go get your little stripe as well, man.
Oh, I do. I need one of those.
Yeah, you get a stripe on your uniform there.
You're in the wrong uniform.
Yeah, wrong
Differently.
fucking
Sure.
uniform, Llewellyn.
I'm sorry. Apologies.
Sort it out.
I'll fix it. I'll
Fuck's
fix
sake.
it.
Fucking pro these
I'm already
Llewellyn.
failing.
What a great guy. I love that guy.
Yeah.
He's fucking adorable.
Hi, Bennett. How are you?
He sounded so sad when I brought him in here. He actually thought he was getting fired. Oh, I met him. I read him his Garrity rights. I read him a Garrity warning. Well, yeah, it's like kicking a puppy, I guess. I tased the puppy. You tased the puppy then. Congrats. How do you feel, Shep? You tased the puppy. How do you feel?
Justified.
Yeah. It was a shit puppy anyway.
No, it's not.
It was like a hairless one.
I'm gonna go grab a badge. I'm missing it.
Alright. That is Sid. That is, yeah.
Did you say running around in
Congregate
handcuffs?
Upstairs. What's up?
I thought she said that is that Sid running around in handcuffs.
Oh. Alright, best we better congregate upstairs. I guess we're wanted, eh?
Yeah, on third floor probably best.
It shouldn't be long. They're pretty quick on it. Hey, Paddy, don't bully Llewellyn too much. He's going to be the only one out and about for now.
10-9?
Out on the street, don't bully him too much, Llewellyn.
Don't believe him?
Don't bully him.
I never believe him. I will.
Oh, Ignis is showing up?
Give me the answer.
Hell yeah.
I don't think he is.
Oh, boo.
As it says, everybody should be coming.
Even Maria?
Maria went
I thought she said she couldn't do this.
Yeah, Maria went to sleep not long ago. She did that academy, so.
Still time. So everybody but Maria because she's busy. It is what it is. I can only do what I can do. That was the only time most people were available. So. How's the shift been? Is it shift been okay?
It's been alright, to be quite honest.
Busy?
Not really. Couple weird vehicle thingy mabobs, couple drug sales up north in Sandy. I was learning Spanish with Sol for a little bit.
Spanish was Sol?
Yeah. Well, she handed herself in, and I made the deal that if she handed herself in, the crime she did a little while ago, I would learn Spanish with her. I'd let her teach me Spanish. She handed herself in, so I kind of had to uphold my side of the bargain. So she taught me how to say numbers and some of the alphabet, and I made her teach me how to say Scotland forever, which is why there's Escocia siempre on Birdie. Because that is one of the most important phrases, obviously. Yeah, and I learned how pretty much everything in Spanish, it sounds like a toddler. She would teach me ga, gu, gi, guy, gay, hi, and I'm like, I was like trying to say that out loud. It was just, it was demoralizing because I was like, oh great, and I'm like, that just. I sound like Steve Carell out of that one fucking movie, with the Bruce Almighty.
Well, I think she was fucking with you, man.
I think she might have been fucking with me, but she did teach me some numbers that were legitimate. So. But yeah, other than that, it's been pretty quiet shift. You know, can't complain.
Sometimes when the shift is a little bit easier, it helps. But... okay, so we might as well get started because clearly the two. Okay, so reason why I brought you guys into a meeting because I thought we needed a designated time and it give you guys a time. Let me just raise my voice a bit. Give you guys time to like kind of collate stuff if you feel like there's anything to bring up. I did say I don't want this to be a table of complaints. This is supposed to be a table of solutions, and so I did say if you're going to bring anything up to the table to either have a solution or be open to other people to give a solution. Yeah, because that's kind of part and parcel of everything. So I might go a little bit quiet every now and again because I am going to make notes.
Sweet.
Especially if there's something I've got to do because it's kind of my job. But yeah, I'm hoping you guys have all been speaking to people within your shifts as well because that's really important. But yeah, we'll go with it. Does anybody want to go first? Anybody happy to go first? Or am I just going to go?
Yeah,
do
down to go first. I got a couple things that have been on my mind. So.
Okay, then we'll go that way around then. So.
The first thing that I got documentation for this as well, so I'll pass that around at some point. Danger levels on the MDT. On the profiles, we have them, but we don't actually have anything set in stone for them. It's just low and high, and at the moment I think we're doing it on a basis of if we're seeing the individual, but I kind of want to put something a bit more permanent in place. So my idea was everyone is set to low by default. I think that's just the case. But we have it so if they have a felony or violent felony, and again this is up to I spoke to Dion yesterday, I think we're more in favor of violent felonies on record, that the person be put as a high danger level. Now, there's a multitude of reasons for this. I think obviously we have the weapons license, where the weapons license gets taken away, they stay clean for 2 weeks and they get it back. I think it's fair to say that just because they didn't commit any violent felonies or any crime for 2 weeks because they laid low, doesn't mean that they're not necessarily a dangerous person. I still think that the danger level resides there, especially if they're a member of a gang potentially. Now, we obviously have how we do weapons licenses where we list it down as rejected. But I would say that we keep the high level there unless they get an expungement, and then that can be discussed down the line where they get an expungement, obviously their record clears, they go back down to a low. But if they have a violent felony on record, they get listed as a high danger level, so that if, for example, a trooper or anyone in the SASP conducts a traffic stop on an individual, they will see that potentially they need to proceed with caution. I expect people to remain professional in traffic stops all the time, obviously. But sometimes you'll get the case of where they'll go up and they'll be more assertive than normal. And sometimes that might push people the wrong way. Obviously, it's going to happen. I'm not telling people they shouldn't be assertive. I'm just saying people may need to watch how they proceed with these situations. If they're on a traffic stop and they see that the driver is someone who is a high danger level, maybe they need to request a 77. And that way we have a feature on the MBT that is not just made redundant or used on a case-by-case basis that isn't actually documented. The weapons licenses is one thing. We follow that through. That's just to make sure people can't buy weapons. And then they get charged with illegal possession. But I would like to see it used. It's right there. It's huge. It's on the profile. It's next to the warrant. And at the moment, it's just kind of redundant. So that's why I just thought I'd bring this forward. That's my opinion. Everyone is set to low, and as soon as they've got violent felonies on record, they get set to a high level. That's just one suggestion, so I'll let people if they've got any input.
I don't see any issue with that. I think that's a very good way of addressing the felonies/violent felonies. Weapon licenses are set by other guidelines. That danger level is just set by us.
Yeah, it's, you know, and even after 2 weeks of no crime, obviously they get the weapons license back, but I'm safe to say that they aren't going to be the cleanest person forever. They are probably bound to fall into a situation where they want to use that weapon again, especially if they're a predominant member of a gang or MC or family or whatever the fuck they go by these days. I think it's just there so we have a way of knowing when we're approaching scenes like traffic stops and such, or dealing with people who are seen at house break-ins or anything like that. We know for a fact that this person is a high danger person. So if we are approaching, even if it's a house robbery or a house alarm going off, we have the individual, they've identified themselves. We still call a 77 if we're alone. It's just so people know when they need to potentially have backup and when not. People aren't going in the dark. It lessens the chance of potentially 13 alphas popping off because they know for a fact this person is a high danger. Call for some backup. You know, potentially don't go into this scenario alone.
I think it's a good idea. How long would we say we'd leave?
Well, it's funny. I think it stays there forever.
Low,
Yeah, I think it's high or low. So I think they stay until they get expunged, and then if it's expunged, obviously it's relayed to us, and then they have a clean record. So we'd throw it back down to low. But there's no actual downside to listing them as high. Obviously, they're listed as high. They just have to deal with. I guess the person has to have another cop on a scene that they're at.
If possible.
If possible. Obviously, it's not. Or yeah, it's not always going to be granted that another trooper is going to be available. It's just that the officer can call for a 77. So that way they have ease of mind when dealing with that situation, that they have the backup and they're not going to be on edge the whole time thinking, oh, you know, who is this person? But it gives a clearer explanation of what kind of situation you're going into as a trooper.
Frank, I've just noticed something because I was just updating something. Llewellyn can't have that number. Those two, that last digits are banned.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
6'9"? We've banned the 6'9", but we have other people with 6'9" in the department, don't we?
If Shield sees it, he'll ask him to change it.
Yeah.
Is what she's saying.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we don't have anyone else with 6'9". We have 9'6", but not 6'9".
Oh, all right. I'll speak to him. Is that like
Yeah, I wanted
behind that, or is it just Colonel don't like that number?
She doesn't like mean numbers like that.
Can we also ban 6'7" as well, please? Thank you.
I wouldn't be. I wouldn't be against that.
I'll speak.
I will pick up this ashtray and throw it your direction, Power. You swear to fucking God.
Right. I'll speak to
I
the
miss
one
on
afterwards. So
purpose
to
because
change.
I'm not violent like that, but still. Carry on.
Next.
I
Might throw a punch the right direction though.
Throw a paper note. Start with the
yeah,
lowest
so
level of
that's-
force.
but yeah, so that's one of my propositions. I don't know how Leon, you guys are in agreement, or have anything else to add on to that, or opposed to it?
I think it's a great idea.
How many violent felonies would we have when we would consider them as a danger, like a high level danger?
Well, I think just one,
think one.
right?
Just
Yes,
one?
because it's the same with the weapons license, right? As soon as they've got a violent felony, weapon license gone, and I think it stays because again, it's more of an internal knowledge base rather than they're listed as a high danger. They don't get to do anything. It doesn't affect them day to day. It just means that we have ease of mind when on a scene with individuals.
I
Because it's
think
not like we can.
I think we might just need to. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. I think we might just need to write down that. I don't know if lawyers can subpoena
I'm already
profiles.
making you- Oh.
And if they see that, and they see them actually be you listed, this is only in theory, but if they see that, you say, they listed my client as a dangerous client, he committed a violent felony 3 months ago, and they're acting with him in a hostile nature for X, Y, and Z reason. I think having something written there, but I don't know if they can subpoena the profile. Suppose they could.
mean, I
It's
don't know
internal
any reason why
records.
they
I
would,
think
I
they
think.
can. Yeah, they can subpoena anything in relation to the case that they're on. I don't think they can subpoena anything in relation to the person's profile themselves.
Unless it came up during the cells.
Yes, unless someone under oath mentioned that their profile was listed a certain way in a court of law, then they'd have every right to subpoena it and have it present as evidence. I wouldn't sorry, Dion, just about onto your point, I wouldn't say that we have to treat them as hostile on scene. I'd say it's just to have an ease of mind, call for a 77 and have backup available. I don't think it should change the way that we treat them on scene. I would make that very clear to everyone who, if we were to make this a change on the SOPs, it's do not treat them any differently. Just have someone there to back you up, and just proceed as normal.
I totally agree. I know that we've also got officers who will read it more literally than that, rather than. And we may have officers doing that, and that's why I'm just suggesting that we have that.
Oh no, 100%.
Written down,
100%.
including the. Don't treat them any differently. Just be more mindful and aware that they are set. And I think having that written down will then cover our backs in case we do have a trooper that acts out of line with that.
Oh, 100%. Absolutely. Yeah. It's there as an internal record. It's a precautionary thing. My English terrible, but it's just there to say
All
like,
that
hey,
Spanish.
yeah, it's all the fucking Spanish. Hola, ¿cómo estás? And just fucking full out, get the sombrero out. Yeah, so I think it's I would like to see it used because obviously it is a vital part of the profile part in our MDT, and I'd like to see it have an actual documented purpose rather than us just doing it on a case by case basis. And then it leads people to use the profile page a bit more because currently it's not really used unless people are revoking the license. It kind of gives a bit more life to it than everything else is just grey. So,
I like
well,
this idea.
depending on how your MDT looks like, I don't know. Mine's blue.
I think all of ours are blue.
Yeah, I think it's really standard.
Well, I could change it. Yeah, so that's one of my proposals. I do have a second one, but I will let other people go first as opposed to me taking the floor because I will take 2 years.
Well, go ahead. I have no issue.
Yep.
Issue. I did have a clarifying question. So they have to be expunged to get it removed?
Yes, I'd say expunged. Obviously,
Okay,
the 2
but-
weeks.
Yeah, but they
is
don't be expunged to get a gun license, so they can, in theory, have a weapons license and still be considered.
Oh,
high
absolutely.
danger. Okay.
Yes, so it's the same thing. Like the weapons license thing is a guideline set by DOJ, and I would believe us as well to say like, hey, this is the time frame that we'd feel comfortable in re-establishing their weapons license, but it doesn't actually directly affect them. It is more just a precautionary feature for us to say, hey, and even so, when they get a weapons license back, if they are known for violent felonies and they are listed as a danger level, high danger level, then it's more of a reason to call for a 77.
Yeah, that's true. Okay.
Because they've got the weapons license back. They potentially have firearms. Will most definitely have a firearm if they've got the weapons license back.
Right.
Like 99% of the time, they've gone and immediately bought a firearm afterwards. So it's just there as again, just for us to be more careful on scenes if it's a traffic stop or a house robbery or whatever it is. If they've provided identification, or we've run a plate and it comes back to them, then at least we know we need backup going in.
Yeah. Okay. That sounds good to me.
Sweet.
All right. I will. I'm gonna write up this.
Oh.
Dion, are you okay?
Okay,
Yeah,
Dion.
don't mind me. I'm just slumping. Don't mind me. I'm just
Okay.
slumping. Yeah,
Late
I'm
night?
slumping.
Away, I guess.
Yeah, a little. Yeah, it's really early.
I feel that.
Yeah.
I mean.
You're normally on shift at this time, Dion, on a Saturday.
Yeah, that's true.
It's a late night. It's a late night.
Yeah, it was late night.
Yeah. Sweet. And my second.
Careful when you go.
Sorry. Yeah.
I'm just whinging. Carry on.
My second proposal is the one that I brought up originally, and this is the radio channels. I did write out some stuff for this, so I'm gonna read from my notes. Currently, for anything we do, we keep it on run radio channel, and depending on the unit limit, we keep them all on the one channel. So, the examples that I gave, let's say we've got a Polito, we've got, let's say 10 units. Obviously, Air 1 does not count towards those 10, so we actually have 8 ground units and then 1 air unit. Or, sorry, vice versa. You know, we've got 6 cages on the ground, 1 air unit. And there's 2 vehicles present on the scene of a Polito. We would call those primary and secondary. And we would keep both of those comms on the same channel. So the example that I made is 2 vehicles, 1 Sultan, 1 Jugular, 4 suspects on the inside, 2 suspects in each vehicle. So it's an even split, 2 and 2. And obviously, we can add 1 and we can say 3 and 2. We've got 6 vehicles, 1 air 1. The scene lead on that scene would split up to say these people on a Sultan, or 3 cages on a Sultan, and 3 cages in air 1 on the Jugular. Now, instead of having both pursuits switch radios, we would keep them on the single radio, which then leads to the primary going this way, secondary going this way. It's nice. I think everyone is accustomed to it. There is still a lot of issues with it. There can be a lot of overlapping comms, and half the time people don't actually say primary or secondary. It can mix it up a little bit, especially if not everyone is fully attached at the same time. Now that's a separate issue, and that would kind of negate the fact of this, because you don't have all the units on attached onto it. Now, the proposition that I am putting forward is to split these radios up. I have trialed it numerous times, and I've not seen anything go wrong. And it does actually lead for cleaner communications. I have said that means that there is a minimum of 6 troopers on a chase, or in 1 channel with 2 chasers. That is a lot of people to be splitting communications between 2 chasers, and if something urgent happens on, let's say, the primary one, that they've broken the ankles and they've taken a jump, and secondary is trying to give comms as normal, primary is to go, oh, they're going this way, they're going that way, and then they don't actually say primary, and it can blow up a lot of people's concentration, whether they're in the pursuit, or if it's anyone trying to give comms on the secondary pursuit, it can kind of ruin their mind, their lane of, or the train of thought. In terms of numbers, I have put here, there's no reason as to why 4 troopers cannot handle 2 individuals in the vehicle. Same goes for if it's 6 troopers on 2 individuals, because obviously you have Air 1, and if one of them turns into a shootout, Air 1 can land and assist. Me personally, I think having both the pursuits on the same channel, if you have the correct amount of units on both chases, it's too much, it's too handholdy. I'm not a big fan of primary secondary. I have always been tuned to switch to a different channel, even if it's a pack or a Polito or other, other robberies. That we would have, if there's enough units for 1 car and enough units for 2, we split to separate radios. It takes less than a second to switch to a different channel and say, hey, this is happening, need assistance on 2 or 3. We have these buttons on our radios to switch channels instantly for a reason. I think people need to leverage that a bit more. And I think it's, again, I've trialed it. It's worked perfectly. Honestly, it would probably depend on the scene lead who feels more comfortable doing that. But I think we should have it open as an option if people want to split the chases, that they go for it. Because I am always in favor of saying, hey, we've got 3 cages with 4 units on. They can take 1 car. And we've got another 3 cages in Air 1 on another car. Split the pursuit up. You guys go to channel 2. Other guys go to channel 3. And the scene lead would say that. Instead of saying pursuit order and just the pursuit order, you can say the pursuit order and the channel. And that way people can instantly go down to the channel. And as soon as the chase starts, it's more easier on the comms rather than, oh, well, we'll go this way, we'll go that way, take right, take left, and everyone's just saying it at the same time. Because it has happened before at a pack, where we've had 2 cars parked out front, and everyone's parked out in different directions, or different sides, and then as soon as it comes to actually chasing the vehicle, people are saying, oh, I go left, or, it can get quite mixy-uppy if there's 2 channels, 2 pursuits trying to do it at the same time. So that's just my proposition, is that we look towards potentially trialing it for a little bit, see how it goes. I think it's a bit too hand-holdy. I think people are conditioned to it. I think giving people the free reins to have this and a bit more independence, and a bit more, I wouldn't say we're not giving them trust, but I think it probably give them a little bit more trust if they feel like they don't have to sit on a radio listening to another chase. Because for me, it bugs me listening to another chase most of the time if I'm trying to chase myself and give comms. Because someone might say primary going southbound Alta, and then most people are conditioned to say once primary finished their comms, secondary give theirs, and they kind of just exchange. It's like a nice one-to-one exchange. So most of the time it doesn't happen, or sometimes it can't happen, and then primary will continue giving comms, and then secondary is kind of stuck there in limbo, waiting to give comms. So that's my other proposition. Obviously, if we don't have enough units, then don't do it. But I think if we have enough units at a scene, I think it's definitely something we should be utilizing. But we do have a lot of channels for a reason. I think we should probably start to use them a bit more.
The only thing I would say with this is I'd be comfortable with trialing it, but only to have split channels if there's a competent scene lead that could go in the other channel and be able to help direct. I don't want like one channel that would have a competent, like when I say competent, but you know what I mean, like an NCO plus that's able to like control the scene, and then another channel that's just fucking rioting because they have no control over what's going on. I don't need to be able to rein them in. That's my only thing I would say.
Of course, yeah, of course. I would, again, when it comes to it, once the pursuit starts, it's just another standard pursuit, and that's what I always urge people to see is once the scene control is over, it's just another pursuit. And I think if we have
that's kind of a naive way to think about it, though. When it comes to be a pack or the Polito, it's not just a pursuit because, for instance, I think it does come down to, before we go into like that, is I think it would come down to if scene lead or wants to do it or not. I'm not ever one to personally do it because I wouldn't feel comfortable, but I think trialing the option is fine, but I think we need to remember that these are the big things that if one side loses one, then that means that the other chase is now at risk of having interference and such. Like, yes, we can go back to the radio and such, but just to say it's a simple pursuit after is kind of what would make people confused about that mindset. Because it's not. They're going to try everything to get away from us.
My concern with it is I perfectly understand it when it's just chasing, but when it turns to a shootout, let's say Chase 1 is going into that shootout, they're conveying information over that radio. You then have to have somebody from Chase 1 transfer to Chase Radio 2, convey the information that is going on and miss the information that's going on Radio 1. That by itself, yes, it's just a simple click, but for that person in Chase 1, that's more than just it's a change channel. We need 78s on this radio, swap back, then relay the comms of what's happening in that chase, which is
To
then
be
information.
devil's advocate, regardless whether we're all on one radio or not, only one thing can be said at a time, so things are going to be missed regardless.
But
To be
if
a little
they're
devil's advocate on that.
But if they're all on the same radio, the information of where they are, where the chase is, and how many cars that chase has, for example, or how many people are in that car, like how many people have dropped out onto foot, because we have had chases where people split off. It's not normally two people.
That
Four.
is. Oh, sorry.
All that information is then having to be relayed back over when other people from the other chase come to join. And that would be my concern, is that the information missed, the information that's not being heard when it gets to those violent situations, is then time that is being spent relaying the information that you've missed from being on another radio. You see how people respond when it gets to 13A and everybody jumps on the radio. It's information that's repeated time and time again, and it's not just 5 seconds. It's when everybody keeps up and said, what's the situation, what's the situation?
Just that, we do that already now.
Yeah.
We already do that.
Yeah.
We switch to a different channel when it turns to a shield. We have to go back to dispatch, or sorry, standard patrol, and relay that information anyway. Sorry.
But to take away from, but we're saying that we want to. I'm happy trialing it, but that's my concern, is that we're also saying that we're then going to move that behavior onto separate radios as well. Like, it's not containing it to just be one radio and everyone's having to do it on one radio. It's, we're now spreading that across.
No, yeah, of course. This is kind of why I added the numbers thing into this as well, is if we have 4 people or 5 people, for example, say a Polito, and we have maxed out units in each chase, there's no reason as to why 5 or 6 troopers need additionals against 2 people unless the numbers really dwindle, which is why we have the whole 13 alpha thing set in place. But you know, if we've got the 4 units on one chase against 2 people, and then the 4 units plus I have 1 on a chase against the other 2 people or 3 people, you know, if I'm in a chase and they've got a shootout, if they need backup, they'll call for it. But most of the time, and this has come from experience here, is we've had shootouts before, and then we've broken off the chase, and we go maybe 2 roads down, and then they say it's code 4.
Yep.
And then we've already lost the other chase now.
Yeah.
Because
people are really quick to scramble to the shootouts and not care about numbers.
What I'm going to say is, I'm going to say what I said exactly to the LTC when we talked about the radios. Because what he wants to do is less breaking off channels when there's nothing going on. And that drives me crazy. Essentially, radio usage and whether it succeeds or fails at the end of the day relies on actually if we communicate. Half of our issue is that we just don't communicate, or we communicate the wrong information, right? Like, The system is not really. The system can be whatever shift lead or scene lead for that scene wants it to be for that radio, as long as it's communicated. So if you are that and you want to split it, then we can test it out and trial it out if you're comfortable with that. I don't feel
Absolutely.
comfortable forcing people into trying new things if they're not comfortable leading in that style. So I don't think it's going to become a standard policy within our radio. I just need people to communicate what they're doing within the radio if they do want to do something. If that
Yeah, no,
makes
of course.
sense.
I would also say it's probably not the right time to trial it at this moment. We haven't had huge situations where we've as far as I'm aware, countering 2 different cars and 2 different chases. So I'd say it wouldn't be giving your idea justice if we did it now.
What? Okay, so,
Well,
yeah.
I think it depends on the person who wants to do it. I wouldn't be sitting
Absolutely.
there saying, right, okay, we're
I mean,
trialing
the
it.
street races could be the same thing. We could come across a street race any day now, and 3 chases could spawn from that. So it is relevant depending on just what happens. It's obviously not an everyday thing, but at the end of the day, it just is dependent on how shift lead can lead and or radio or scene lead can lead the radio for the rest of the team.
We also wouldn't be able to have L1 shoot for that they would then count towards as part of that 8 if they're shooting.
Well, yeah, but okay, so this is what I'm saying is there's a lot of different factors that come into it. I'm just purely speaking about the radio channels themselves.
Yeah, no, I'm just.
There's a shooter. Yeah. Sorry. Yeah, I know you're just trying to. Yeah. But for me personally, it's just the radio channels, and I think what we do now, it works. We fail it most of the time, unless people don't want to.
We feel like if people are shit at driving.
Well, we fail it because people also are terrible at comms. I'm gonna keep it a stack, but the primary secondary thing is never really ever followed on those big scenes. It might do for the first 2 minutes, and then it's consistently forgot about, and people just carry on talking as normal. And I think it's if we have it there, if we're not actually utilizing it, there is no reason as to why we shouldn't be able to move to different channels. I'm not saying it has to be a standard thing. Obviously, people are completely different. Me personally,
What's crazy is that like when you report that, I don't see that for like our shifts, like our primary. We don't it doesn't break. We just tunnel vision into it, so that's why I haven't like seen it as an issue as others have.
Oh yeah, I mean, I tunnel vision into a lot of chases. Yeah, I tunnel vision into a lot of chases, and I sometimes don't listen to the comms because I can never differentiate half the time between what's going on in my chase and what's going on in the other chase. And I'm gonna keep it frank because that's my name. I could give less of a fuck if the other chase is doing a U-turn or doing a jump. I just want to focus on my chase. I trust the others to do what they're doing. I don't need to listen to what they're doing. I know it seems a bit naive of me to say that at the end of the day it is just a chase, but at the end it is just a chase. If there's a HVT, absolutely. But if you've got max number of units on each chase, then I'm entrusting my troopers to keep doing the same thing. Like they're gonna throw everything at it, absolutely. But if we're still on the other chase, there's not really much that's gonna be thrown at them. They might have the one individual that's got an interference vehicle, but then all that recounts is for one person who is doubled up to switch back to the primary channel or the primary standard patrol channel and say, hey, need 77's interference vehicle, and that's it. The secondary chase doesn't even need to be informed about it entirely. Like, they don't need to know everything that's going on. You just need to get other units to go chase the other vehicle.
We are opposite, Combo. I like to know what both chases are doing because I like the full context of my scene that I'm leading. That's interesting.
Oh, no, I don't care. I don't care. Everything that happens on scene I care about, but as soon as it hits into the pursuits, I'm focusing on my pursuit while I'm letting the others focus on their pursuit. I trust people to be able to pull that off. And
I trust them. I just want to be there for them if they need us or need them, or if we're getting close and do a head on, because that shit fucking hurts too if we head on.
True. But there again, and this is just me, but we have the tools to see that from very far away. and be able to work around that. That's just me though. I feel like maybe sorry Amber. I feel like I feel like sometimes I may be too hardcore of a fucking cop with how I work. Obviously, a lot of people like to have it easy. I don't want to say easy, but a lot of people have more of a helping hand, and I just don't. I like to be left to my devices, and sometimes I go a bit too hard. But at the end of the day, that's kind of just how I've been trained. I like to just be left to my pursuit, and if they need help, they'll call for 78s. They'll give the reason. I can break off. But every time I've been called as 78s as a shootout, by the time I've broken off and gone two streets separate, oh, it's code 4, guys. We're just doing cleanup now. I'm like, great. I've just left my pursuit and they're UTL now, which isn't a big deal. But again, if it is a pack or a Polito, then again, it's just a pursuit, but it's a pursuit based off of a bigger scene.
But just a chase. Well, I'm confused.
No. So this is what I'm saying is I would rather. The way things are going now is those people still call 78s, and then by the time I've broken off, they're code 4. And if they have to change channel, then they'll have even more reason as to why. Like if most people will get into the shootout, they'll do the comms, and then if an officer goes down, we'll be alerted. We can go and assist if they need it, if they genuinely need it, if there's a holdout or whatever it is. Most of the time, shootouts are done within 10 seconds. Shooting happens, everyone's in the middle of the road, people get shot, suspects go down. It's done before people can even call over radio or switch to a different radio, because the cops will always outnumber the suspects in every single situation if there's 2 chases going on.
But if both chases have sufficient units, and with that knowledge, I mean, sometimes only one breaks off. When people call for 78, we still go. Like, that would be my, like, we both don't, if you have enough units for both, that means that should be enough because 78 shouldn't still be the entire force, right? We can't have literally everyone going, so I don't want that to be the deterrent for things, because we can, if we're full up on both chases on separate radios that way, have just one break off to go help. If it's gonna be done, then things can still be seen, and then that frustration maybe is stopped.
Yeah. I guess I think me personally, I'm just trying to think of the standard pursuit comms. Shootout is obviously something that can happen. I think probably requires a little bit more work, I'll be honest, when it comes to the shootout kind of stuff with how it would work. But for the day-to-day, there's 2 vehicles, 2 pursuits. I don't think we need to be on the same channel. I obviously, it depends on whether a scene lead is happy to do it or not. And if it's me, I'm always going to be happy to do it, because if I've got full max amount of units on one chase, go for it. Godspeed, gentlemen. Happy hunting. Have fun. As soon as I'm on my chase, that's the only thing I'm focused on.
We are also
help,
overcooking this a little bit, because we are talking about a call that has 2 vehicles on the same, which hasn't happened yet, granted.
It's
and the only
to me twice
time
already.
okay, well, I'm surprised I haven't. That's concerning. Is it at a Fleeka bank or?
No, just general stuff. And you have multiple cars, it's different things. And to be quite frank, if there's 3 or 4 people there, it's going to happen. It doesn't always have to be for these big calls. And it may be a separate issue, but it's
Okay, okay. We're gonna
always be a case.
separate this. I'm separating this into separating calls for little bitch stores that people are being little like, that's separate than the packs and the Politos, because the packs and the Politos, we need to remember that I don't think we're going to chase them much more. I think we need to remember that. Like, that's not going to be a chase.
Yeah, that's true.
Much anymore.
Yeah, Sid is right.
So we need to remember that. I mean, yeah, the ones that you're talking about for that, yeah, sure, I don't give a shit. Like, yeah, those are just chases. I've been just talking about the Pax and the Politos and
Oh, I'm just talking about
and the
everything.
Vanjis. No, yeah, the piddly ass small tier crimes that with double cars, I don't give a shit. Do whatever primary wants to do. Pax and Politos, and that's where I'm more hesitant to stay on the same radio and where I would as shift lead myself. But we can always trial it.
Yeah, just to say, if we don't breach the pack or Polito, it's still turning into a pursuit, which then still goes back to what we were doing before with pursuit order, this, that. You're on this one, you're on this one, and then we can still go to the you're on channel 2,
I
you're on
mean,
channel
yes, if
3
you're
if we're not
comfortable with
breaching.
that, you can be. I'm
Absolutely,
personally
yeah.
not comfortable. Like that's what I'm okay with trialing. Like if we want to, just
and again, I think, and don't take this the wrong way, I think people aren't comfortable with it because they haven't trialed it themselves. I think if you get to see how it works, potentially you'll be more open to doing it yourself. It's the same thing with what we do now,
oh,
right?
I've been a
But
part
when
of
I
I've been a part of departments that do it. I've just never been a fan personally.
oh, all right, yeah, I mean,
I
I've been tailored to it.
wasn't
Yeah,
a fan of it.
I've been trained to do that, and I've been tailored to it, and I've changed styles before. I just think if we're not properly following this primary secondary thing now that we are, or that we use now, because we aren't properly using it, and it is going wrong. I'd say at least 45% of the time, because again, the primary secondary thing gets dropped off after like 5 minutes of pursuits, or people keep overlapping comms. Like the system we have isn't perfect, and it never will be. But I'm just trying to minimize the cause, or minimize the risks that we face by just throwing them on separate channels and then letting them do their own comms. And again, if I'll trial it, and if people like it, people like it. If they don't, they don't. It's not the end of the world. I just want it to be a case that it can be used, rather as opposed to someone above saying, "Oh, well, because if I
And
was
yeah, be
shifting
aware.
on a pack, then,
LTC
yeah.
is in charge of the radio. You're all staying on the same fucking radio. Just be aware of that. So
Yeah, that's a separate issue. I mean, yeah, okay. I'll keep my words to myself about that because
Yeah, we'll cross that bridge when we get there.
Yeah, I'm gonna cross that bridge when it gets there. I'll drag him into an office and have it out with him if I need to, because that guy's never around to say anything. So. Well, yeah, okay. Well, I'll quote behave myself.
I don't think she was intending for it to be a quote-unquote behave.
I mean, if the only caveat is okay, if the LTC's around, we have to deal with it, then that's
no, I mean, no, it's just it's whoever is in charge of the radio or command. I'd want you to respect how they want to run the radio, right? Just how you would want them to respect how you run the radio, right? Like it would go both ways. I'm just saying it's up to shift lead. I'm just saying that if the LTC is shift lead, he's made it known up in the last meeting that he likes things on the same channel. That is just the small joke I was going for, guys.
Oh, okay.
It's the goal that I want to push for the department is where shift lead has control of the radio, where yes, command can supersede if need be for whatever good reason. And then for the calls, then it's scene lead who would control the radio, and then ask shift lead for anything extra. That's the goal. The goal would be scene lead and shift lead can do that however they need to for that call, whether that be keep them on the same radio, whether that be split them off because it's however. But I want people to respect how that person's leading the radio and just do it the best that they can, like you would want them to respect the way you're leading the radio, if that makes sense.
Yeah, no, I get that, 100%. I'm just gonna say, like, if I'm shift lead and they want to do, I'm open to stuff. I'm not set.
I mean, have a conversation with them and just be like, "Hey, why do you do it this way? And why have you tried doing it this way?" If you're curious, or if it's something really bad, or if it's egregious, like obviously report it. But.
Yeah, I would just hope that people are open to change and not set in their ways, because people who are set in their ways do not sit in positions for long, and that is something I have seen through many, many years. You've got to be open to people wanting to do things a little differently. That's the only reason I'm bringing this up, is because I've trialed it. It's worked. Maybe I'm just comfortable and confident in doing so, but I've had it work, and that's the only reason. That's the only thing I wanted to bring it up about, is because some people enjoy it a lot more than having to listen to another pursuit comms. And if I get shut down for it, then I'll step aside and I'll have a conversation with them. And hey, but Yeah.
I think it's about to become a lot more now. The fact that we have to keep all radio, every chase on the main radio until we're full on units. So
Well, yeah,
we're
that's what I'm
probably
saying. Is sorry. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. This is only when we've maxed out on the units on the chase. That's I did say at the start. It's like I'm not doing it if we don't have enough units onto it. But this is if we have a pack or a Polito and we've got the maximum amount of units on it. I have no reason as to why, and if we're not breaching, I have no reason as to why I wouldn't switch people to different channels for the pursuits.
Well, you've kind of hit on an underlying training issue that needs to be fixed. The fact is, we're going to have more radio chasers on the main radio. We need them to be used to primary and secondary. We need them to start doing that because that's about to become more active on the main radio.
Yeah, I have a
And we need
caveat
to
with
start.
that. If we've got loads of different pursuits that start out of nowhere, and we can't break units off, and we have 3 or 2 free pursuits on the same channel that just aren't getting back up, then me personally, I'd switch to a different channel. That's just me. That's not how things are going to run, but because obviously we've got it set in stone. But I dislike that with a passion. Yeah. I guess that's just a dead end. I'm not going to be able to do anything about that. But it just seems a bit stupid. But I wasn't privy to that conversation, so I don't know what was said. This whole staying on one radio thing is a huge disaster. That's not been thought out at all.
It's how unfortunately, it's how those departments started. In fact, that's how
Well, hold
Amber
on,
came into it.
Yeah. What's the issue with just staying on one till you get your units and you break off? I don't.
Where
see the
every
problem
single chase was on one radio.
No, just the LTC. His more thing is if he's bored and it's quiet and there's no other chase, might as well just keep it on one. Me, personally, if I'm not a part of the call overall, I don't care to hear it. I get overstimulated and I want to be able to hear conversations better. If I'm like shift lead, that's one thing I kind of would want to hear. But overall, you say you learned in a manner of radio's always changing no matter what. I'll tell you that I learned in a matter where we only had one radio and one radio only. So multitasking is very much ingrained into my police work, which is why it's a preference for me. But
I know, and I get that. I mean, I was the same, but I think if we have the tools at our disposal, we should be using them.
It is,
but be using them.
Yeah, that's totally fine. But you'll just need to remember that the Colonel and LTC are very old school in their ways, and Bob overall, or yeah, Robert.
Did you just say Bob?
Robert?
Oh
Bob?
my god.
There's no Roberts, Bobs.
Robert, Bob.
Oh yeah, that's true.
But I was referencing where everything was on one radio and we would have third chasers.
Regardless, he's one that's he learned his ways and he stuck with it, and we love him for that, which is fine. It's just
times change.
it's okay. But times do change, and I just want to, if we do go to him, just like have a respectful conversation with him. Honestly, it's just.
I'm speaking cyber terms here. Forgive me for being blunt.
You can't.
This is
go
like
to
saying I'm still going to use
Don't,
HTTP, even though HTTPS exists.
Don't use Gen Z slang to him. He may not understand it.
It makes sense, Shep, right?
It makes sense.
Why use HTTP when HTTPS exists?
Because I'm not even going to go into that. I believe
there's no logical reason. There's no logical reason. Exactly.
No logical.
Times have changed. Things have improved. We've gotten new tools. We should be using them. I don't care how old people have been trained. That's like sitting in a meeting and saying, "Oh, that's like when you do your back when people used to do their mandatory training in a corporate environment. They have to do it through pen and paper and sit in a classroom. Now they have to sit down at a laptop and do it through fucking Workday. Times change. I think, yeah, have they been treaded old ways? Absolutely. They've probably mastered it. They're great at it, and that's cool. That's good for them. But the departments need to improve and need to use these new tools that are at our disposal. Otherwise, we might as well just not have them. We might as well just put them aside and just say, hey, these are redundant at this point. And you know,
I miss the radio I had a few departments ago where I could just literally just be in both channels at the same time and just hear what's going on in both.
yeah, that
channels.
stuff is good. Have one in each ear.
What-
Just
what the hell?
lose the plot even
Yeah.
more.
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
want
you used to
that?
I
have
could just
I have a
literally
radio
still be in
that
the same radio,
Yeah.
and then like I could then go and just quickly go tell Sam's like, by the way, we're getting shot at stage, but like still not have to leave the
Mhm. Yep.
radio. It's great.
I used to have my pursuit in my right ear and my
I
standard
could
patrol
mute
in my left
myself in
ear.
one. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But you know, I'm not trying to be a cunt here, but if we've got all these, by me saying all of this, I just think if we're getting all these new tools, and the only reason why we're not utilizing them is the top, I think the top needs to be a bit more open to change.
Okay, he's just okay. Listen, no, he's not open. No, he's not. That's not stuck in his ways in that way. He and we're
He's
not
willing
making
to have a
policy.
conversation.
Yeah, he's willing to have a
Yeah, absolutely.
conversation.
But I
He's
would,
willing to make change. What he was not. What this was strictly on the radio, and why I said to him and to you that everyone needs to be willing to adapt to everyone's radio style. Wait, but this doesn't go beyond radio for his old dog new tricks. It's just, I mean, if he says something, that's just got to remember, like he has an old school way of policing. So then, but he's very open to have a conversation and explain the new way and why it works better.
okay,
You
well,
just
that's
when
fine.
when
It
you
just
talk
sounded
to
like
him,
you just set
when
in
you
his ways.
No.
when you
Just
talk to
if
him and he
he's
gives you his
shift leading.
opinion, you're like, wow, that's an old school opinion way, and then you move on and have a conversation with him and expand both of your minds because
Yeah, I
you
can do
can
that.
find a middle ground between the two because old school doesn't mean bad always.
Oh no, I'm old school too. I was trained in very old school ways. I mean, fuck, I've been doing
You said
fucking
this
way
was
too
away
long.
from that you had been trained in.
Yeah, but I
way I was
happily
trained.
moved away. Yeah, I moved away from it when there were newer and improved ways of. I've just been keeping up to date. That's just me. That's, you know, I've gone
Yeah.
from one channel to now I've got 4. It makes it so much nicer and convenient for people who just don't really want to be listening to what the
I
fuck's
used to
happening
have
with other people.
25. I missed having 25.
25 channels?
Channels.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
I think the max I've ever had was 6.
Remember, you were there. What was the last one? We had 25. We had to share it with
Mhm.
Sam's and BCSO, but it was.
Sam's was 1 to
25.
10.
Oh yeah, true.
Who was it? Rangers in between Sam's and PD?
Oh yeah, the Rangers were there too. Yeah, actually, we had like 1 to 100.
My first department, each patrol unit was in their own kind of channel, and we had a whole area comms that used to scream when they needed additional. So you'd be like casually like patrolling around with like your area patrol, which will have maybe about 5 or 6 units in it, and then all of a sudden you'll hear, "There's a pursuit! Attack one! Attack one!" You have to dive into a different channel. And then the sergeant's job at that point was making sure we had enough units and start calling people up, and then you go back to your other channel. That was how it worked. And then everybody was organized. There was no full on like chaos, and everybody had their own area. It's kind of how it
Yeah.
worked. But it made
But,
you jump every single time. And I didn't,
yeah.
like, you know, I was on that system for years. And all of a sudden it's like, shots fired, I'm like, whoa, 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 whoa. Casually having a conversation about whatever I had for dinner that night.
I think me bringing this up isn't me just trying to change the ways of the department. It's never going to work. I think just being open to it, or people being open to it, because it does work. And I think that's the only thing I'm trying to raise here is there are other ways to do it. And if people are willing to see it through, whether or not the scene lead is confident in that, people will notice the difference and the benefits of not having to listen to a different person's comms. Because me personally, I just don't care about what the hell's going on in another chase. That's just me. If I'm in my chase, I'm focusing on my chase. Unless a shootout happens, I don't.
I
I don't
think
care if they've took a left turn.
I think the note of just everyone is that it's down to what they want to do. If I'm scene lead, I want to make sure I know what's going on in each part of the chases, so then I can break off that other unit to go and support. I need to be able to hear the others so I can keep an eye on what's going on both, because ultimately I'm the responsible for that scene as scene lead. And it's just down to who's comfortable.
Should we say, and I don't know if I said, let's see, we're just, if you, Pilbo, want to trial it and then feed back to us, and we can have a
Yeah.
conversation with the rest of the department, see how they feel, which you think about that.
Yeah.
Sid!
Sorry?
That's it. As if Colombo trials it, and then he can kind of maybe ask some we can ask some troopers and see how they feel and see what they feel comfortable with and stuff like that. I mean, I'm not forcing anybody to use either or, but I'm giving the option.
Yeah, I mean, I guess you can try it, and if it still goes well, we can just let people know that that's an option if they're scene lead or shift lead.
Sweet. Well, they're really the only two things I had, because they're the only two things that I thought of or even spoke to people about. So, sorry, I took up an entire hour of everyone's time. I didn't realize how long that was going to be. I mean, the first one was easy.
This is the reason why I want to have this after the command meeting the other day, and I said I wanted to start because I was like, you know, we have things we want to talk about, and I want to put that out there, and I want to give time to do it, and I didn't want anybody rushing. So it's fine, take your time. Okay. We're gonna go around. Dion, do you want to bring anything up? We'll just go around yourself.
No, I haven't really heard anything on NA. The issues that I did have got recently fixed with some recent SOP changes and changes in the department, so there's no reason to bring them up. So NA's been okay so far. Still a little quiet, but we're working on it.
Just to add on to that, how many are you good like cadet wise and stuff, or do you need help with FTIing? Because I've noticed you have a I know you're just taking up FTI lead, so
yeah,
you have a very full list of cadets or people that are interested, and if you need help, I'm more than happy to help.
sounds good. I'll look at that list. I haven't really looked at it.
Yeah, I think you've
too
got
much.
10 people on that.
They've got
I think some of them have been hired.
Seven. All right.
Some of
There's
those
a few
people
people
not
on the
already.
wait list.
Okay. I'll
yeah, I've had a few
One
of them
of
reach out to
them.
me.
One of your
Yes.
cadets hasn't been hired on.
Oh, because I've had two of the people on the wait list reach out to me, and I was like, "Well, you guys are NA. You're not my shift. So
Oh, okay.
go wait.
Well, tell them to call Dion.
I'll tell them to call Dion.
Yep. Tell them to call me.
But as if you need help, by all means, at the moment, EU is literally just walk in and hire. Like I've had 2 interviews in the last 2 days. Both of them are great. I think, again, that's not really a Star Sergeant. That's more FTI stuff. So I'll leave that for now.
I wanna bring something up about what.
Go on.
So, no, it's not a bad thing. I'm gonna point this out, and I'm gonna
Unprepared.
Very try to think about the best way to describe this. So, Dion, you obviously hired Golden Fields, yeah.
Oh, whoa, hold on. I
No.
hired Golden Fields.
Colombo hired Golden
I
Fields.
did.
Yeah, that was not me.
Was it you, Colombo? Sorry.
Yeah, Parker told me
Anyway,
she was great. So.
No, she is. She is. No. I didn't know if she was going to be mainly on your shift. That's why I was. Anyway, point I'm trying to make is Golden Fields is fantastic. She's really funny. She's lovely. You're gonna love her. But she takes things incredibly literal, like super literal. And at first, it might seem that she's taking the piss. She really isn't. If you tell her to do something, she will do it to the letter of what you've just said. So
And
Repeat
extra.
my entire interview to me.
an extra. So she's incredibly enthusiastic and she's more than willing to learn, and she will not take offense if you've got to take her to one side and then, explain it again. Just be very aware that she will take it extremely literal. Like extremely literal. But she will be the best cadet you'll ever have. She just might, at first
She
get it
does
wrong, and
everything
next
an
time
extra.
She will never get it wrong again. Yeah. But once if she does something wrong and you tell her that it's wrong and this is the way she does it, she randomly question it. It's her kind of putting it into her brain, but she will never ever get it wrong again.
I feel like you're talking from trauma there, Amber.
And then maybe a little, but then when she when like you try and get her to deviate a little bit from what you've taught her for whatever reason, she'll struggle with that. So just to be aware that is a thing. But it produces a very, very competent trooper. Trust me.
I need a trainer to just mag dump everyone.
Don't fuck around with it.
She won't do that.
That
She
woman
won't.
can shoot, and she can shoot incredibly well, better than anybody I've ever seen in my entire life. I'm telling you now.
But she's not one to go around Magda.
I'm gonna tell her to go into the gang neighborhoods and mag dump them.
Yeah, but
this is a joke, by the way, but it's good tech, bro. We got RoboCop. We might as well use it.
Might as well.
She's fantastic. She's hilarious. Like, she's a great hire. I'm saying that I'm not sure how to I was gonna put that in the FTO chat, but I think that's just the casual understanding. I think it needs to be. People might at first not take that the way, like, think she's struggling. She's not struggling. You just haven't told her. You fucked around too much with telling her. Just tell her exactly what you want from her, and she'll just do it. It's kind of does that make sense?
Aye, I'm Mr. Captain. Aye, Major.
I missed what you said. You.
No, what I just said about Golden Fields, that would put that.
Yeah, it would. Yeah. She's also a very investigative mindset.
She is. She's probably gonna go MC.
Nice.
I don't know, man. Investigative mindset. That screams SRT. Investigate how those door hinges come off when you knock it down.
Hey, there's nothing wrong with a door kicker. Right, okay, so I just wanted to say that just because it kind of came up. Okay, Atalin, do you want to bring anything up?
So we're advertising for EU shift from today or next week?
I've already been advertising.
Oh, I thought you were waiting until AU had done with their academy.
Nope. I've been advertising already. I've hired like 3 people. I got 2 interviews done. I got one of them coming back tomorrow or the day after. I got one I'm waiting to come back in so I can tell him he's hired. Yeah, but I mean, Burdett I hired and he's pretty much almost done.
Okay, here's...
Llewellyn's been pushed through to Proby today, so he's good to just keep carrying on. To be quite honest, if you see someone walk in, just give them an interview on the spot. You know, I'm happy for it to keep going because our turnaround right now in cadets is pretty fucking solid.
The only thing I would say when it comes to cadets, and I've been very, very clear from the start when it comes to this sort of stuff, is do not overhire to the point where you don't have enough FTOs to take them out because you're going to have cadets just
yeah. But we've already been facing that at the moment. So I think we're kind of good where we are. And we've got them. I think the people that we have been hiring right now aren't green. So they are going through as quick as they are coming in.
I think there's a caveat to that. I think some of these cadets don't really need an FTO per se. Maybe just like a rundown of how to use the MDT, and then they can kind of just go out there and figure it out. Some of them are green, but like some of these recent hires, like Victoria Sky, Buxton's, these people don't really need FTOs. People like Juniper Crisp. Well, Gavin was green. He picked it up pretty quick though.
Yeah, Gavin was green.
Solid.
He's pretty good. He does have some stuff that I can tell is okay. That's a green person. Like when he overtook Sid on a chase one time for no reason. And then when he pits sometimes, he gets really fucking tunnel vision on the pit.
Yeah, he needs to work on that, by the way. I had to tell him not to... He went for a ram, so I had to tell him not to do that.
Yeah, but those things just come with reps, right? So I think he's fine. He just needs to get out there more, which he's around a lot, so...
Yeah. Aiden Black will get through pretty quickly. I'll give you that much. That's one of your NA.
Yep, I met him last night. Yeah, he seems like a pretty cool guy. But Bugsins is on LOA for a little bit, and Richard Washington has not been around since the economic crash. So I'm going to reach out to him. Where'd she go? She's not coming back?
She needed to focus on her life.
Oh, the amount of effort you guys got into
2
that,
months of effort.
Yeah, that was a lot of FTOing for that one.
I had to do so much mentoring.
Yeah, well, I mean, she might come back.
She might. She probably won't, I'll be honest with you, but she might.
Yeah, probably not.
Okay, so you've been advertising for EU shifts.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. I mean, I did put something out, and we've had people come in and ask for interviews. I did have a guy come in at 3 o'clock this morning and say he wanted an EU interview, and he genuinely showed up at 5 p.m. on the dot, well, like 5:05. So, yeah, I was like, it's 3 o'clock in the morning, my guy, and he's like, I know that, but I'm EU, and I'm like, oh, okay. How about 5 p.m.? Okay. And then he showed up. I was like, oh. He is Scottish. Finley Mackenzie or McKinley. I can't remember which one it is. I wasn't really paying attention to his last name.
Finley Mackenzie.
Something like that.
I mean, that's what you have
He's
on this
good.
on the app interest. So.
He's green. He's been I say he's not green. He's been a cop before. But the department that he was in never ever gave a shit about case laws or amendments.
Okay.
So
That is so
homie
right
was a walking violation. Yeah, he probably mag dumped a lot of people for the fun of it.
Well,
Sounds like my department. Just kidding, guys.
no.
But no, so he did all right. I asked him to come back tomorrow. I've asked him to revise some case laws and amendments, and then we'll do another interview just based on those. Because the scenario once he did all right. You know, did pretty okay. It's trainable. He's just got to learn how we operate in an actual department and not some fucking down department funded by his granddaddy in the middle of buttfuck nowhere that's using a shed as a base of operations.
Sounds peaceful.
Yeah. Hey there, cousin, you violated the law. And just fucking put 6 shells from a revolver in him.
Just sound peaceful.
Yeah. Very A Million Ways to Die in the West.
Hey, Alan, is there anything else you want to put up, or is it you want to extend on that one? Sorry, kind of went off.
It was just if we were doing that, I was gonna advertise during the earlier part of EU. When does EU actually end?
11 p.m.
Because I've heard 5. I've heard
No, it's
4
3 p.m.
to
to 11
6.
p.m. AU finishes at 3, and that's when he picks up, and then NA starts at 11.
That's pretty much.
See, yeah, I've heard from 4 to 6 to 7, and I'm never. If you ask a person X, I'm just
From
talking
what
about
I've-
this one.
From my knowledge, I've seen that it's 3 to 11. I need to double check if that's before or after the clocks went. I don't know. Whatever the one that just happened after the clock going backwards and forwards. I need to check if it's out.
We're set to the EST clock.
Well, no, I mean, as in, like, I need to check, right? Because I had one of those ones where it tells me my local time. I need to check if that was before or after the clocks went forward or backwards, because I can never remember what the fuck happens.
You spring forward.
Sydney, when does the NA clock start?
Forward in the spring. So we're about to go forward.
What?
I go forward. So then it's 3 to 11 then. It's 3 p.m. to 11 p.m. on the old UK time.
Well, then it would start at Eastern about, or wait, 3 to
10
11, about 5 or 6.
Okay.
That'd be like what, 10 to...
Which makes about sense because we have to remember, because unlike the UK where it starts at 3, the NA has 4 time periods before it hits like NA time for the, you know, bar side. So like sometimes it's like 8 or 9 before the entire NA can be around, you know.
Yeah. So from my knowledge, Novak, it's 3 to 11 for the UK's.
But it can be anywhere from like
European
5.
Union. Oh yeah, give or take a few hours. I think some people depend, right? We had Charlie Smith, who was AU and EU, and she was around fucking ridiculously early when she started her EU shift. But yeah, so I'd say give or take like 3 hours in each one. Sometimes people pull crackhead hours like myself.
People have high arrangements.
Yeah, some people, where we go to sleep at certain times. People may be one of those European people, but they might do stuff on a complete polar opposite shift from time to time.
Okay. I just wanted to check that because, yeah, like I said, I've heard everything from 4 to 7 p.m. EST.
I've always gone from
in
3 to
my
11.
opinion, if they're coming around during that afternoon into evening stage, that's an EU person, right? You don't want someone to be coming in around the
At 3 o'clock in the morning.
because then that isn't an EU person. Yeah. So if they're saying they can come on duty around about like 9, 10, 11 o'clock, then realistically, that's you starting your shift just into the in time. Yeah. It's kind of like ours. It's just.
I think it's hit and miss. It depends. But I just wanted to make sure that I knew that so that we have a definition of when that is, because AU definitely has that cutoff. They finalized that cutoff time.
It's about 3 in the afternoon. 2 o'clock in the afternoon.
Okay, I just wanted to check on that one.
Anything else?
Not that I could think of.
Oh, hey. A random thing that kind of popped into my head, actually. This is more of you and Bowers turf.
Who are you talking to about you and Bauer?
Oh, sorry, Shep and Bauer. People are gonna fucking hate this, but when I was chief, I always ran sergeant exams because I wanted people to put themselves forward and then have an exam within a certain period of time.
I ran supervised training.
Because instead of what happens now, where we pull people aside and say, "Oh, hey, bud, we think you're gonna be good for sergeant," we nominate people, or they come forward and they sit a sergeant's exam instead, because they already have the training part as a corporal, and then I guess just have an exam to then say, "Hey, you've used your knowledge correctly and all the training you've had as a corporal, you're now fit for sergeant." Or if it can be vice versa, you
My
do it down as a
only
corporal.
downside for that is not everyone that is fit and succeeds at corporal is going to be a good sergeant, and that might cause frustrations. Because do you allow everyone to take the test?
That's what I'm saying. We put forward a group of people and say, "Hey, we think you're a good fit."
It's
Well,
Or
I
they can
think
come
I think
forward.
Sid was asking like, can you nominate troopers to take it, or would it have
Oh
to
no,
come
no,
from
no,
the,
no.
So
They
it has
have
to come
to
from
go.
the corporal.
They have to go from. They have to be
No,
from the
even
corporals.
I mean,
Okay.
even corporals. I don't think that every corporal is gonna immediately or ever be fit for sergeant. So, like, is this as a corporal, if they
Permanently
feel
going up.
confident?
It's just,
No, I'm just
hey,
I'm asking, like, is this what triggers the exam to be taken? Is it someone that's higher up that says that they're ready to take the test, or is it they've
We
been
have a
corporal for a bit and they asked to take the test?
Yeah, they've been corporal for a bit and they asked to take the test.
Yeah, I don't.
If there's
That's
a
where they're
spot
gonna
open.
morale's gonna drop, because if I don't feel they're ready to be sergeant yet, then I'm gonna decline them taking the test.
So I don't believe I can understand the values behind it, but a test ends up promoting good test takers. There's a reason why when you're doing schoolwork is you have tests and you have coursework. One is going to excel in one or the other. And then it gives the you've got sergeants who pass a test rather than people who've proven themselves being under pressure. And
yeah. Okay, so
you've
sorry,
got.
I'll let you finish and then I'll.
I think the test is good. I just don't think it should be triggered by the corporal wanting to just take it.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. As long as we have something set in place, because then we just say, "Oh, hey, we think you're good. Bam, well exam, you're now a sergeant," but we don't actually see everything. And when I say test, I don't mean we just sit them down, give them a form, make them fill it out. A test can be a multitude of things. We can get them to do a theoretical, and we can also get them to do a practical.
You also
and that's
have
just something that we can do based on that.
You also have people who do not react very well under knowing that it's a test.
Well,
Yeah, when they.
that. He said people wouldn't like this.
Okay.
Yeah, people aren't gonna like it, but at the same time, if you can't and this is me being fucking blunt. If you can't handle well on a test, then how the hell are you handle under pressure?
Because I'm sorry. Am I able to finish?
You'll be speaking right now, aren't you?
Yeah. So you've got your staff sergeants and your sergeants in the position they are because they're staying calm. They read with people well. They read between the lines. They're able to assess situations on the fly. Even when you're doing things like practical and you're going around, you've got people who, the moment people know that they're being examined, it's a genuine struggle for them. Because they're instead of their mind being, what's the situation that I'm dealing with? It's a situation of, what is the best solution for this exam? For what I'm doing, what is the best policy? What is the best SOP? What is my test taker looking for? Instead of being the full-rounded skills that they are looking for. And you've got people who are excellent at paperwork, who are excellent at court. But you've got people, but at the same time, there are people who are a little bit more, prefer being in that secondary and that tertiary position. But when they're on by themselves, they're isolated in those situations, they seem much more confident. It's a different, sorry.
Just literally described a trooper.
Yeah, so from my point,
no.
right? Sorry,
Oh.
go ahead. Go ahead, Bella.
I just I get that, but at the same time, I do think a test is helpful, because we also need to ensure, because they're signing off on warrants and stuff like this, and we've had staff sergeants signing off warrants that did not pass the sniff test at all. So there's also kind of that regard where the test covers, and while yes, not everyone does well with a test, life still gives you tests and you can't always avoid them. And if I kind of do share the same blunt view that as long as we made it a standard, I mean, tests to ensure that our supervisors are standard isn't a horrible thing, and it would, alleviate some things slipping through the cracks. I think there'd be a middle ground. Because yes, tests suck. I hate tests myself.
I have I have no way of explaining the full impacts.
So
I
when
would've-
I originally did it years ago, we had what we call supervisor training program, and it was a training program that people signed up for if they felt they were ready to take a supervisory role. They would train. They'd have to. It's similar sort of thing to FTO. They'd have to then do a final the same way as an FTO, and it's completely practical. I managed to get through that, and I don't like tests. But I mean, I've had people reasonably high up that can't control a scene, and can't control the ship, and don't have these skills that would benefit from them. The things that you described, which is being able to go in a court case and write paperwork and stuff, it's just general skills that I'm expecting most troopers to be able to do. And if they can't do that, they'll be supported on that. But at the same time, that's not a supervisor's role. They can still do the paperwork, and they still can go to court, and they can still do all these things. That's not a supervisor. That's not
to
a
add on
sergeant.
to add on to this, we do tests already. We do tests for Air 1. We do tests to become FTOs. We do tests to become pretty much anything in this department. If you want to do court, you have to go do some it's not like a proper documented test, but you need to be able to understand stuff, and we do give you stuff to do.
Well, the bar
same
exam's
thing.
a test.
Well, yeah, sorry, yeah, the bar exam. And I mean, carrying on from that, you've got piloting. You do your pilot test, which is flying. I'm sure as hell once we get this pursuit and interceptor stuff set in, that's going to kick in, and there'll be tests for that. You know, we do that already, and I know people might not. It's a test. If you're struggling under a controlled environment, I don't know how we're expecting people to be assertive and confident in their abilities in an uncontrolled environment to try and make it controlled again. And that's where we get people who may become sergeants or higher who struggle in ways, and then when it comes to really needing someone who can lead, sit there in the corner with the thumb in their mouth and don't actually do what they're meant to do. And I don't feel comfortable on scenes where people are sat there trying to think stuff through in a long period of time before actually taking action. I hate to reference TV shows. Has anyone seen Band of Brothers? Great TV show.
I have.
When you send Spears in, and Spears immediately takes control of the situation and gets shit sorted in less than 10 seconds. Obviously, he had an outside peripheral, and you saw everything that happened, but as soon as he went in there, he immediately took control, said, you do this, you do that. This is what we need to do, this is the plan of action. That is what we should be expecting of people who are sergeants and above. In any case scenario. If there's a shootout happening, and you're trying to determine where people are, you set people up to go into groups, you try to split them up, try to cover as much ground as possible, and then you try to close in the situation and barrier them in so they don't have any chance to escape. That's what we should be expecting people to do. If people struggle in those kind of controlled environments and are too busy focusing on what is the person testing me thinking, or what do they want me to do, the only answer that should go into their head is they want me to follow stuff to the book. We have SOPs on how to operate. We're expecting our sergeants and above to be able to tell that and to use them to our advantage and be able to follow them without breaking them. The same as any trooper. We just expect those who are leading to be able to give those who need the support they need. And if people are not confident enough in their abilities, they don't deserve to be a sergeant. I've seen so many people slip through the cracks and get ranks that, sure, on paper they look good in, but when it comes to the situations like a shootout or multiple pursuits, or just any form of, I mean, I've seen people struggle at paperwork in a sergeant position, and that's a real worry. So I just feel like having a test to kind of add an extra layer of protection for people in command and our staff sergeants who are going to be supervising these guys, we know what they are capable and incapable of. And having that test there will allow them to show us what they need in terms of training and what they need in terms of training. And then we can minimize them. And then voila, when they take the test again, they're a perfect sergeant. Well, not perfect, but they're a much better sergeant than what they would have been. rather than throwing them into the ranks of sergeant, giving them the stripes, and then they struggle and fuck up, and then we have to do coaching and disciplinaries or whatever it is. Does it add work for us? Absolutely. It probably add work for command, I'm going to be honest, because I don't think it'd be our staff sergeants that take it up, because we don't get to choose who gets sergeant. But I can tell you now, I'd be more than happy to assist with that kind of stuff. I'm more than happy to sit there and do the test with them. But I do think it's a fail-safe that is set there so that we don't have to deal with headaches in the future for maybe a simple test of peace of mind.
My other issue that comes with that is that do we then... So, are we telling them, first of all, are we telling them it's a test? It sounds like what we're actually centering on is monitoring progress. And then what happens when they reach that, but there isn't a space available at the sergeant?
Well, no, absolutely. They should be aware that this is an exam that they're going for. They should be fully aware that they are intending for the role of sergeant. And we should also be aware that we want them to be going for the role of sergeant. If we're going to be using it to the fact that we are approaching them to say, hey, we think you're suitable for this, then they're absolutely going to be aware that it's an exam. And it's only going to be when someone from command approaches them to say, hey, we think you're suitable for this, please approach us. And then they can approach us, and we'd only offer that opportunity if there's a spot available. Rather than just giving them stripes. Yeah, even stuff like that. But I think it's much better than what we have now, which is just bringing them into the office and just popping stripes on them.
That's definitely...
Even though we think they're ready, but I think it's just, we need to have extra levels set up just in case.
I think that, whilst I appreciate what you're saying, that undervalues the hard work that command do when they actually assess all of those, because there is discussion about them, there is targets set about them, there is back and forth about who is right to be a sergeant and who's not right, and where is the targets lying. I don't think that was your intention, but there is definitely conversations had.
Wouldn't command have that conversation and then we let them know that the test can happen?
That's pretty much what I'm saying, is if command would come to an agreement to say, hey, we think this person's suitable for an exam, rather than, hey, we think this person's suitable for the position. And then they do the exam, and if they pass, then it's there. I'm not trying to underappreciate the efforts made by command. I'm sure they have conversations about who to put there. But I think the conversations themselves, maybe sometimes it's word of mouth, and it's not always 100% determined that this person is fit for that position. Like I said, it's just adding an extra level of fail-safe stuff there, so that if command do come to the decision and say, hey, this person would be great for a sergeant position, put them through the exam. It'd probably be strenuous. There'll probably be lots of stuff they'll fail on. It's not always going to be guaranteed they'll pass. But
Sorry, I need to look at my phone briefly.
Yeah, at least then command will know, and they'll know what they need to work on to get that position, rather than just, hey, you're in this position now. And if they fuck up, then it becomes a whole thing of having to deal with it afterwards. Like, I've seen situations where I've seen so many command come together to fix situations that have happened involving corporals. And it's just like, that probably could have been avoided if there was fail-safe set in place. That's the only reason I'm bringing it up. I think it just makes it easier for everyone if we have these things set in place. And if I need to put it together, I'm more than happy to.
Can I
can take that up to command and see. I mean, I would prefer a training program rather than I mean, that's just because that's what I'm used to. They apply when they feel they're ready. The applications get discussed. They go through the training program, like an FTO program. They do a final, like an FTO program, and then they get a qualification and then so the ones with the qualifications are the ones that get.
Can I suggest
I don't expect that any sergeant that comes up, especially in a department as small as this one, I don't want a sergeant to be put in a position just because they're good at paperwork. I need somebody that's able to lead a scene, because you're going to get a situation where you're down in the cells and you'll have a lawyer running rings on there, and they expect the African sergeant to come and jump in, and that's just my opinion on it. Everybody has a different opinion on it, and that's whatever. The command has different opinions on it. I'm just very straight to the point. When I feel that somebody's not ready,
Can I suggest
a
an idea?
sergeant or a lieutenant, and 9 times out of 10, I'm generally right. I don't think haven't been right in all the things I have said, but here we are.
Can I
But
suggest a...
because I also did command training program and still talking, and then like I totally give you the thing.
Yeah, that's fine.
If that is the case, I would rather it be a training program and not just something where we expect to force people in it. Because some people have never been in a supervisory position before, and sometimes that's a good thing to train people up if they have the natural kind of inkling and want. I think the first step is then applying for it, but that's just my opinion on it. But yeah, I think.
What about instead of having them approach and saying, hey, I'm ready, doing a small interview with them prior to that training? So they're the ones who are coming to us when they say they're ready. Then going into that training, which is then where we can monitor and assess from there.
I mean, that's exactly what I said. It would
Yeah.
be responsibility to approach.
I didn't hear you say the interview part at the beginning.
I think just to add on to Bauer's part is if you guys as command don't think they're ever going to be a good fit, which is why I added if you guys approach them and tell them that this is available, reach us when you're ready, and in that way it's set in stone that they know there's something open rather than them trying to apply consistently, but you just don't think they're going to be a good fit.
Yeah, I can't have that be an open door for them to be able to join whenever they want to, because then their morale is going to be shit if they're not ready and fast enough.
I think this definitely needs. I'm not saying like a yes or no.
Yeah, I just brought it up because I think
at
it's
this
a fail
time-
safe for you guys, right?
Let me put this together and let me get that conversation.
Well, I
and
can write it up for you. Don't worry, I can put up a proposal for you, and then you can put it forward.
I have my own definition of how I would like to see that in comparison to what you're saying.
Well,
I guess
I'm
in a way that
yeah,
more
I'm open
holistic,
to change. I
but-
just wanted to put the thought forward of
Yeah.
what it could be, rather than just a set in stone. This is going to be a test. Like even the training, it works, but it'd still be the same case of maybe we approach or you guys approach them, and then they have to say when they're ready to attend it.
Let me put let's write this up. Let's put it out to both staff, the rest of the staff sergeants that couldn't be here, so they can have a look at it, and command. And then the next command meeting as a whole, which like all of us can sit down and have a discussion about it with as many people here from command in general. Yeah, sounds good. Like all of us.
Sweet.
Staff sergeants.
Yeah, sounds great.
And it gives people then a time to have a look at it, see. It could be blatant like vote not interested, and that's fair enough. But it gives people time to have a think about the kind of structure of it and where the tweaks should be in order to develop that to something that might work. I will see what I can dig out, what I used to run. Probably a paperwork somewhere. But yeah. Sound good? Are we all in agreement with that?
Sounds good to me.
Bauer, are you okay with that?
Bauer's smiling. I think that's a yes.
Bauer! Sydney? I'm going to say she's fine. She'll be fine with it.
Yeah, she's fine.
Has anybody else got any problems with that idea?
No.
That's not us saying we're going to go down that route. That's us saying we're
Put it up for chat.
as many people with many opinions of an opportunity to come up with one thing. And if that's a no, that's a no. It's whatever. But I'd rather the possibility, because I don't want a situation like where you got people like Josh King struggling, yeah, because he's never been a supervisor before. He's a perfect example of that. And if there's a way of supporting somebody, he was asking for help, he was asking for training. Maybe that's the way around it.
It would also create the part that we had with that corporal that wanted to be a sergeant.
Grim.
I can't recall her name, but...
Grim.
Nope. Purely EU.
I had it probably a long time ago.
Are they still in the door?
No, I can't remember the name.
That'd be a long time ago. I think the
It
only
wasn't a long time
Mm.
ago.
corporal that
Oh,
I've.
yeah, yeah.
That's,
You remember who I'm talking about, Amber?
Yeah. Okay, so the point is, it also will help me sort discussions as well. Because one thing I find, and most of you guys haven't been privy to command chat, is something will end up getting sent in emails to command to discuss, and then I'm saying one thing, and somebody's like, "Well, I haven't been seeing that," so that would clear that up. Or what feedback can we give them? Or that is just straightforward. It's the feedback's already there. Let me look into it now. We'll write it up. We'll send it out to the masses, and then we'll organize a command meeting at the end of the month, like we did last week. And then, yeah, that can be one of our topic points. Sound good?
yeah.
Sound good.
Okay. Anything else anybody wants to bring up? I just got one point. But I just want to make sure you guys
No, because we'll be here for another 4 hours if I think of anything else.
are.
I've got another
Unless
meeting
somebody goes
very
outside.
soon, so
Okay, cool. Well, what I would like to do, Colombo, Dion now. Can you get with Marie at some point and organize an FTO meeting and bring FTOs together, a couple of them?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I think that's on the plans from the last meetings that we'll have a set in stone for. I think it's supposed to be end of month, but I think we'll have to just do one mid to end February just to get one sooner rather than later. But we'll have a chat
I'd
about
rather
it.
sooner rather than later, and just kind of try and find like, and we need
With
to
people's
get
heads out and
things in.
stuff.
If you're gonna bring, if we're gonna bring cadets in, we need to get people's heads on ready to go. Right, they've had a break, but they now need to start doing the job because that's what they signed up for. If not, they need to kind of remove themselves.
Get gone.
are you able to code that training sheet to see who's actually putting in notes?
I have.
Or does it update it whenever somebody puts in a note?
No, I've just done it myself. I know exactly who's been doing work in the last few weeks. Yes, who has. Okay, so I coded it and I put it in FDI chat from someone else, so anybody needs refreshing. I need to make the whole thing change, to be honest with you. Okay. Is there anything else that you guys want to put up? If not, I think we're good here. Okay, cool. Right. Any problems, give me a shout. Otherwise, if you guys could make sure that FTO meeting gets going on.
Oh, we have someone put a FTO report in the MDT.
Yeah, I saw that. It was.
I need to have a chat about
Don't think
that with
Why?
the FTIs.
I don't think we're using that.
Well, I've been on the verge of maybe we could.
I mean, we
'cause
can. We just have to. We just have to
see
make the plan for it. We just
It's
haven't.
pre-configured for what we already do as a report, right? It's like it's just I've got something right now
So-
for it, and then when we meet its FTIs, I'll bring it up because we do have the stuff there, the 135, which we could do as the solo, and then just sign everything off when we can, and then it just gets done as one single sheet on there rather than
Yeah, I
having
think.
external stuff that we
And
do.
then we
I
don't.
think
Yeah.
it'd be good to get it out, and it saves me fucking around with
Yeah,
things.
saves all this.
Could you guys get together as FTIs and
Yes.
Yeah,
I'm writing up
If
a
you guys
document
want
for
me
it.
there, let me know when it is, and I'm happy to be there. Otherwise, you three got it.
Yeah, I think we chill as it. Don't worry. You don't love us anymore.
I was just making sure because you said FTIs and not leads, so I just want to make sure it wasn't just me FTI meeting.
If the FTIs
Yeah, we'll have a
we've
chat
been
about it.
talking about getting this on the road, like changing paperwork and stuff like that, it should come from you FTIs. Like, I'm happy to join in.
You're an FTI too, Amber. Damn.
I know, but I'm just saying, as a group, it should be a group.
I know.
decision.
I need to ask Chase what he wanted me to do in terms of you guys and leads.
What do you mean?
He said last week that to get involved with some of these lead things, so I need to check what he actually means.
It was about the meeting last time about the cadets. You had certain cadets that you wanted to bring up, and he said for you to get in touch with us, FTI leads about it.
I let me check that because there was more that he said about that.
Alright.
Okay. If that's the case, you guys know what you're doing. Colombo, get back to me about the sound and stuff. I will.
Yeah, I'll make sign up for you.
write the notes up, and I'll send that to the whole of the staff side so they've got kind of the idea. I've got the world's worst notes, so I need to hide in them. I do this all the time. Any problems, give me a shout. If not, run as far as your way as you can.
Hey guys, another idea. Just kidding.
No, I'm up. I'm out my seat. Get the fuck out, Columbo.
All right. Cool.
Well, you don't want more bright ideas?
I have a different meeting to go to, so
Very exciting.
No, I'm not involved in this one.
nope, you're not. Be thankful.
Yeah.
If Dad starts talking about the cows again, I'm gonna scream.
Oh god.
There is so many more. That one's kind of vital.
I can understand that. It'll be discussed. We'll see what happens. I'm gonna have to stop stream very shortly because I've got a meeting I've got to go to. I will probably stream afterwards. So for the moment, let's go and raid Fraser. Fraser, Frozen. So I'll see you a bit later. Goodbye.